Yo, what's up everybody? It's Recon, Aaron, come back at you with another video today. So today I kind of wanted to sit down and discuss some things about Brawl. So for those of you who don't know what Brawl is, the type of deck, it plays just like normal Magic, except you have this thing called a commander. So we're going to kind of go in and I think talk about that and really sit down and figure out, okay, well, as a beginner player in Magic, I just started playing Magic, and I'm really trying to figure out what game modes I want to play. I think that this is a good way for all of you. My doggo is very not happy today, unfortunately, but I hope you all understand. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to obviously when you go to select the deck, we're gonna build commander. So commanders are creatures that have to be legendary. They're not a part of your hand, and you can cast them at any point in time as long as it's your turn or they have flash or something. Right? So, for the sake and all intents and purposes on this video, we're going to focus on red. On red commanders specifically is what we're going to focus on. So if you look, there's really not a whole lot of red commanders right now in standard. So I want to say this right now is that Brawl is standard, which is what I'm kind of talking about. So really it's kind of up to what kind of deck you want to build. So you can do things like Chandra's Flame Catalyst, you can make him be a Planeswalker, you can have it be like instant sorcery spells. I usually like to try to build off of a particular niche. Right? So like Magda, Brazen, Outlaw, I think is a good example of this, as a good kind of card. We're gonna build an Axgard deck. So here's what we're gonna do. We've selected our We've selected our commander. Now from this point on, we can actually select cards. How Brawl works is you can only have one copy of an individual card in a deck. That goes for like a specific land. And now the normal basic lands is fine. I'm talking stuff like Castle Imberg, Dwarven Mine, stuff like that. You can only have one. So since we're gonna make a dwarf deck here, but not so much a dwarf deck, so much as we're going to do other things too. Because we really want to work off this mechanic for Magda, which says, the first mechanic is great, but the other one, whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token. Stack 5 treasure tokens, search your library for an artifact or dragon card, and put that card onto the battlefield for your library. So, things I think that are really going to help us here. We're going to get the cards like Maskwood Nexus that make our creatures every single creature card type. Now, I will say this is not a budget deck, but this is like a beginner kind of style deck if you want to. But let's say, for example, you can't run this. Let's say you don't have that, right? So instead, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make 2 different deck styles. We're going to make one based upon if you don't have the wild cards, and the other one if you do. So we're going to do commons, uncommons, like specifically. Now, you are going to have at least one rare wild card for Magda, but that's fine. So this does limit our pool a little bit in terms of cards, but that's fine. So things like we'll put Shock. Now you don't have to have a Mystical Archive Shock. I just picked that because I like the art a lot. Now I think burn spells are very important. Things like draw power, etc., etc. Like rune. You can go ahead and add the rune. Does that actually count? I don't know if that counts. No, it doesn't. So we can't use that. Things like Demon Bolt's pretty good. And we'll go ahead and start searching for dwarves here. These are pretty much the dwarves we are limited to. So 7 dwarves is a really good common because you can have up to 7 of them in your deck. You should always have 7 of them in your deck. There's no reason you shouldn't. Because for every other card named 7 dwarves you control gets an additional +1/+1, right? So really good. Really good card. Things like Vault Robber, exile a creature card from a graveyard, create a treasure token. It's gonna be really good for us trying to get other cards out. Make a Spirit Dwarf. Now this is from Kaldheim actually. Now this is an okay dwarf. I personally don't know how I really feel about it. I mean, it's a 1/5, so it has good power. Dwarven Reinforcements is pretty good because you can create more dwarves. Twinscroll Shaman, which is a dwarf shaman, you get double strike. Dwarven Hammer will go ahead and run for the treasure token type deal, so we can sack them, bring them back. Fearless Liberator, the same thing. We can have some of our dwarves get haste if we tap. We can also use Dwarven Mine for other particular things. Get more dwarves. Basically, you know, if we control 3 more mountains, we can have this card enter the battlefield and just create a red dwarf token. So pretty good overall. Now let's search dragons. I doubt, yeah, I was gonna say, there's probably no dragon. Now we can go look at artifacts here. So things like Command Tower, which is like a very big staple to Brawl. It specifically just lets you add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool based on your color's identity. Since we're running mono red here, really good, and I think it'll help us. Arcane Signet, same thing. Basically, just kind of give you some extra ramp here. So it'll give you, you'll pay 2, and you'll get 1 mana of any color of your choosing. I think that's important. In terms of other artifacts that we probably run here, I think Bloodline Pretender is a good one. Choose a creature type, it becomes that creature type, right? I think that's pretty good. All things considered. You can run Replicating Ring if you want to. Because it kind of hits a point when you start getting a lot of ramp. Because because your CMC cost in this deck is going to be really low anyway. It's going to be probably like 2 or 3 at the most. So when we're looking for artifacts, we're looking for things that are really going to be advantageous to us. So I mean, you could run things like, you know, equip creature gets +1/+1 trample for 1, equip to a creature token 1, equip to an actual card 3, etc. Actually, Crashing Drawbridge would not be bad just because of that effect. Because we could tap it and then add 2, right? Tap it and make our cards have haste. There is a particular card I'm looking for. Can't find right now, and I just saw it a little bit ago. Where is it? So believe it or not, this card is good, but it's good in a situational aspect. That's something we can talk about later. I won't talk about it in this video because I don't think it's important right now, but it will be later on down the line. Ah, here we go. Yes, your devotion to each color, each combination of colors is increased by 1. So this is actually a pretty good artifact in terms of what we're trying to do here. And we're gonna go back and look at red here. So things like Volcanic Dragon. Hellkite Punisher is pretty good as well. Just thinking here, because like red has a lot of really good cards I think that we can utilize, but it's really just kind of up to whatever we're trying to do. So Dwarf Shaman here. Actually, this is really good. We will actually run this and recast instant sorcery, create a treasure token. Now from this point, we just need a lot of more instant sorcery, so we can really kind of bank off that. So things like Burn Bright will be very useful. We can also run some artifact. Creatures without flying cannot block this turn. I think that's actually going to be very situational, but very useful. Let's see what else we have. So let's go ahead. We'll filter out to instants and sorceries. Actually, believe it or not, my brain is also saying enchantments. Focus on enchantments for a second. So for enchantments, I think the biggest things we can run. Raid Bombardment will be good for kind of early game, like turn 3, but like I don't really want to be a part of that, right? Because I don't. Our dwarves are going to get more and more powerful as we go along, but we'll run it anyways as situational. I can't believe they reprinted this card. Kind of weird to me. I don't know why they did that. And then we'll look at instants and sorceries. Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit under the weather today, so I'm trying not to, you know, be a little too loud. So other cards I think we could run. Obviously, buff cards are important. Our sorcery cards in our graveyard, that's not going to help us. Barge In's gonna be pretty good. Fire Prophecy, obviously. Dual Strike. Or less this turn, copy that spell. So basically we could do Dual Strike into Shock. I think that'd be good. Scorching Dragonfire. And the thing about Brawl is, though, you can only have 60 cards. How many Dragon's Approaches do I have? 3. That makes us have 4. Okay, so then... So we actually will make a deck based upon Dragon's Approach later. We'll make that as a win condition deck. I think that'd be fun, but I don't want to run it right. Rest of the week we'll run. That's pretty good. Slow CMC, board wipe. I think it's really good. Slaying Fire will be good because we're going to be just using it anyway, only for red mana. Smash Success for land. And then Trader's Greed for, we're going to call this budget. So we're going to call this, actually, I don't know. Dwarven Down Below. And we'll pick out some fancy sleeves for this. Yeah, let's do these. Yeah, now we'll go ahead and we'll do a brawl game real quick. I'll kind of show you just kind of how it plays and what it's about and etc. As always, if you guys have any questions or want any good any kind of questions for me or anything about deck building or things in general, definitely leave it in the comments down below. I also stream on Twitch occasionally, so I might be streaming Magic Arena, so you can also ask me questions live in there and I can answer. But as in general, I just kind of wanted to show you guys a a budget version of of Commander, and then really I think if you're gonna really want to kind of get into the early games of Magic and kind of put single cost cards in there, I think that Brawl is the way to go for Standard, just because well, Brawl is only Standard anyway, but mainly because you only have to have one copy of the card to play, right? Especially if you're just getting into the game, you don't have to sit around and really kind of wait and figure out okay, here's what I want to do, here's what I need to do, etc, etc. But I think it's very important. So our opening hand right now, I'm going to be real with you, is not a good opening hand, so we will get a free mulligan off. This is significantly better because turn 2 we're going to have 7 dwarves and a dwarf for it. So we can also play Madara, which is what we'll probably do. Want to get her out as quickly as possible to create treasure. Go ahead, we're going to turn down our audio a bit because it is a little loud. I think he just mana. Turn 2. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I want to go ahead and bait a burn spell, so we'll go ahead and do that now. We'll go ahead and play Magda. Magda will die a lot. I'm just going to let you know right now. Magda will probably get killed more than anything else. We're fine with that. And the main reason we're fine with it is because we'd rather have Magda die than the rest of our dwarves. We see already ripped apart. Yeah, I called it. Yeah. And the thing about it is too, is that now Magda costs 4 to play. Will cost more and more and more as you go along. We'll play a 7 dwarves. That's better. Now I will be brutally honest with you. This deck does get hard countered by pretty much anything that has kill and burn spells. Especially if you cannot build up quickly enough, it will happen. So just something for you to be aware of. There's not really a whole lot you can fortunately do about it, but it is what it is. And he probably has stuff like Fire Prophecy, and he probably runs a Demon Bolt and everything else like that too. But he is running red white. There we go. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and probably just burn my 7 dwarves right now. He's debating on what he wants to do. And we'll go ahead and play Magda again. Either that or he actually scoop. I don't know why he would though. Now my dwarves get +1/+0. We'll swing. Get that treasure token for us. Oh, there we go. There we go. Here's what we're gonna do in our upkeep here. So we're gonna play another 7 dwarves, right? Because we need to. Right now, we just care about creating treasure. Now watch this. Actually, we could use Burn Bright here, but we're not going to. Like, we don't really care that our dwarves die, okay? Like, we don't. We actually don't. We're not going to use our treasure tokens yet. The treasure tokens are actually there just in case we do need to use them, but we're primarily going to be saving them just for and see that they probably don't have any mana. It doesn't really showcase, I guess, pretty well how the deck plays, but that's kind of how it does. Have to try and actually build it out in a particular way like that to have it make sense. So when you go up against players like that who are super aggro-y, because like this deck is very aggro, right? Like if you're going up against other aggro players, it's really going to be down to ooh, oh, Ruined Crown. We got that card for. How about that? And we'll do one more. But that's just in general kind of how it's supposed to go. Like you're supposed to be able to, you know, get your 7 dwarves out, get Magda out, get your tokens out. Either use your tokens for particular extra mana as ramp, because red doesn't have a lot of ramp for mana. They have a lot of draw power and a lot of burn spells and a lot of aggro. They don't have a lot of actual mana manipulation. And Magda really helps with it. And you can do other stuff with Magda too. You can run Magda with like Maskwood Nexus and make it so that you just have a bunch of really high cost power creatures. Play them for free, right? Like, you can totally do that. This hand, I honestly, my brain is telling me to keep just because of 7 dwarves. However, it's only 2 mana. Let's see, this is better. I actually probably would have kept that because Exca is going to be a problem for us, along with Prismatic Bridge. But we do have stuff to destroy, I believe, artifacts and enchantments. So, yes. He does have Pentacolor. He does have mana options, so just something to be aware of here. He is going to be probably playing a lot of Triomes, the stuff to get cards out early. So we have to ramp as quickly as possible. Now, there's probably better artifacts and stuff you can run to give your creature cards haste, but I don't think those are in standard, unfortunately. So this is kind of the best bang for your buck. There, right there, he's got command tower, so pretty much he has mana options for days here. Well, where's our commander? I was like, wait, I played her. I unintentionally played her. I was not paying attention. I actually was just not paying attention to the fact that I played Magda. So. Treasure token here. Additional mana. Fox. Look at him. So right now he's a mana ahead. He's gonna sack, search for. Going to assume probably black. Probably need something for a kill card or. Oh yeah, plains. Okay, okay. He's really trying to get mana out early. Gonna be like a couple ahead of us. So I know next turn we're going to be able to swing out for a little bit of mana here. But that's 3. We'll go ahead and put Dwarven Mine out to create a treasure token. We'll then go ahead, do this. We will then go ahead. Swing out again. And then I think we're just gonna sit on everything else here that we have. I think that's the plan here, because I know he's trying to play Uska. No, Prismatic Bridge, rather. That won't trigger until next upkeep, I believe, which is perfectly fine for us. So it says 4-8. I believe we actually win this turn. Boom, 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 boom. Do that. Counter target spell. Auto pay it. Fine. We'll pay the 3. And yeah, that's how you win. That's literally how you win, because he was playing a non-aggro deck and we were able to aggro out faster. That's in general is how you play this deck. So really good budget deck overall. You only need one actual rare wild card for this deck. The rest is uncommons and commons. So I just want to say thank you all for watching the video today. I do appreciate it. Sorry I'm a little under the weather. It is unfortunate, but yeah. Thank you all for joining me, and I will catch you all in the next video where we're going to be doing something for the Gent Corner, and it's going to be about the dragon, the dragon space, the approaching dragon card. It's like a win condition. We'll talk about it in the next video. But either way, thank you all for joining. See you later. Peace.